everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to me going back to my top 10 anticipated games of 2022 and seeing what happened with them. So each year, at the beginning of each year, we do a top 10 anticipated games, which is some guesswork and some, research, but we don't know when games are coming out. And in fact, 4 of the games on my list did not come out last year, which is, what do you do, So just talking about those, what I thought about the game, etc. So let's start with number 10, one of the games that didn't come out, and that's Lords of Ragnarok. Now this one's a surprise because I really thought it would come out. Awakened Realms is usually pretty good at their turnaround times. Sometimes it's much longer on the second wave. They do the 2-wave shipping thing. Lords of Ragnarok, the follow-up to Lords of Hellas. We played this one as a paid playthrough on the channel, and I really liked it. And I like that pantheon of gods too, so that's also fun. And the whole thing's cool. So I'm assuming that's coming out this year. Looking forward to it. Number 9 also did not come out last year, which is Thunder Road Vendetta. Now, Thunder Road is a game that I don't have a whole lot of connection to because I did not play it as a kid, the older game. But I really like what Restoration Games does when they take these old games and bring them to the future. And the idea of just driving around the road and shooting at cars and stuff sounds like a lot of fun. So I'm assuming that one also will come out this year. All right, now let's talk about something that I did get. Number 8 is Titan. Oh my word, Titan is a gigantic game that looked really cool. And for some reason, I thought the rings spun in it and all, but you're like mining on a smoothed Titan. I was very, very pumped about this one. This is by far the biggest disappointment on this list. Titan, the box is huge. This board you put together, and if you don't mess with an X-Acto knife, the board won't come apart when you put it together, and you can't put it back in the box. And this massively 3D board, which is completely unnecessary. Pieces which don't, there's a lot of production problems, huge production problems. And then the game itself is almost broken if you don't play with 4. And that's just, there's so many problems with the game. The game itself, about building pipelines and moving cubes, it's fine. It's a fine game, I suppose. But the production issues and the fact that it doesn't work with less than 4, those things are such huge problems. I did not like this one. Number 7 is Mosaic, the Civilization game from Glenn Drover, which is take some quick actions. I was hoping this one was good, and boy, was it. It made my top 10 of the year. Really like this one. The only negative thing I see people complain about is like the setup. You put out a lot of tokens, but once that setup is done, boom, take a turn, take a turn, take a turn, take a turn, take a turn. It plays, it's fun, it's fast, it's really cool. Number 6 is Frosthaven. Hey, I actually have this one sitting on the table here. This is a humongous game. I wasn't sure what to expect with the sequel to Gloomhaven, but it's really cool. Now, I've been spoiled playing Gloomhaven on Steam because it takes care of a lot of the bookwork for you, but Frosthaven is kind of like Gloomhaven 1.5. There's an outpost building phase. There are really cool characters. The story is great. It is big. It is grandiose. It is a lifestyle game, not an exaggeration. You play Frosthaven and play nothing else over the course of a year, that's legit. But I do like it a lot. It also made my top 10 of the year. In fact, those are the only 2 games from my list here that made my top 10 of the year. Number 5 is Arc Ice. I think this was one of my most anticipated games for 2021 and 2022. I've kind of given up on this one coming out. This Egyptian theme, almost like an Egyptian dungeon crawler-esque. It's not dungeon crawler quite, but man, it looks fantastic. I've just given up on when this is going to come in. Who knows? So I would say maybe 2023, but what do I know? Number 4 is Fall of the Mountain King. I liked In the Hall of the Mountain King. And Fall of the Mountain King is a prequel to that, and I actually think I like Fall better than Hall. It's area control, but it has like this mini game where you're building these cards in front of you, like a little console of sorts that give you the actions you can take, and that's just a really cool mini game. The actions themselves are fun with area control. There's a few minor things. I wish that the combat was a little clearer to understand, but it plays well, and really nice components. It's a nice production all around. Number 3 is Dice Realms. Very pumped about this game from Tom Lemon. This is kind of a Race for the Galaxy, but with dice, or Dominion with dice. This has been in production/development for years. I like it. It's a very good game. I wish it was prettier. It is ugly. It doesn't look good. And there's a few tiny wonky things about it, but you want a dice building Dominion game? This is the one, and it plays well. Number 2 is Caesar Sees Rome in 20 Minutes. This is the follow-up to Blitzkrieg, a little tug-of-war World War II game, which blew my mind and how good it was. Just a fantastic little game. Caesar is very good. It's not as good, I think, as Blitzkrieg, but I think part of that is that it's not as intuitive. It's still a very, very good game. Still not very pretty looking. I wish they could make these games look nicer. But it's a nice back and forth 2-player game, putting down tokens, connecting these tokens to points. Really cool. And then my number 1 game is Iridia. This is from Cody Miller from Far Off Games, the same people who did Zaya, this gigantic fantasy game. I was really, really pumped about it, and it's not out yet. And it doesn't sound like it's coming out anytime soon. So let's hope it's a late 2023 game at this point in time. But I still look forward to that. Zaya was a space exploration sandbox game. So Iridia, if it does the same thing with fantasy, that would be really cool. But anyhow, so I guess I got 6 out of the 10 games came out this year, and the only one I didn't like was Titan. It is interesting, like I said, 2 of these made my top 10, 8 did not, but that's just because so many good games come out a year that I don't know about, and I'm always excited about that. Anyway, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.